My Kamado Joe came with a problem right out of the box. It wobbled back and forth, left and right. I almost thought it was going to fall off of the stand. I contacted the Kamado Joe customer service. They sent me the wrong fix, but that's okay. There's a simple hack to fix that. I'm going to show you what that is, so stick around and get the details. I think we all can remember the day that our Kamado Joe arrived. I know I could. Mine arrived late in the evening on a delivery truck. It came in, I was really excited to get going, and everything was great. Until the next morning when I started putting everything together, and there's one thing in particular that really disappointed me, and that was the Kamado Joe wobbled in the stand. These things are heavy, and I'm not kidding you, they are really heavy. This one is about 285 pounds, and moving it with one person is near impossible. So when I had mine and I had the wobble in it going front to back, left to right, I could actually see under the Kamado Joe where it sits on the stand that it wasn't completely seated on the stand there. Well, I thought I could just put a shim in there with the metal or something that wouldn't burn and shim it in there and keep it from rocking so badly. So I contacted Kamado Joe customer service. And by the way, if you haven't contacted them yet, it's only via email. There wasn't a phone number available to give them a call. So through email, I contacted them and they responded right away. I think I sent the initial request in on a Saturday, and by either Sunday evening or Monday morning, I had a response back. They wanted a little more information. I gave that to them, and then they, on the second or third email, they asked me to take a measuring tape and measure across the base of the Kamado, the width of the ceramic cooker itself at the base. And I did that. I could slide a metal tape right up under it where it wasn't even touching the base, and I got the dimensions. I sent that photograph back to them, and at the same time I asked for a telephone call because I wanted to just ask them about shimming or something simple. And the next thing I heard from them was there is a shipment on the way. They're going to send me a completely new stand. I didn't really want a new stand. I wanted to fix the one that I had, because a new stand would mean I'd have to lift this monster out of this cradle and put it in the new one. And all I had to help me was my wife, and that would be a pretty hard job to do. I tried playing with this top piece, this round circular brace that goes into the base, and see if I could slide it up a little bit to where it would make contacts with the side of the cooker, but that didn't work. As soon as I slid it up a little bit, it came out of the base fitting here, and I couldn't do that. So I went to the internet. I went to a Facebook group for Kamado Joe cookers, and I asked the question about it's rocking back and forth in the stand. How can I fix that? And a gentleman replied back and says, well, what you can do is you can take the Kamado Joe and turn it 90 degrees in the stand, and quite frequently that solves the problem. He was speaking with some authority because he said that he goes out to customer sites and frequently he has to do this to their Kamado Joes. I replied back saying, well, I'm just one person. I'm not sure I can pick this up and turn it 90 degrees. And he replied back saying that it will spin pretty easily. Just grab it and twist it. And I did. I grabbed it, I twisted it 90 degrees, and guess what? That wobble was gone. This thing was then solid as a rock. And man, was I happy. The only downside, and it's not really a downside, but the only thing that's a little bit peculiar about it now is the two wheels that lock on the stand are not in the front any longer, they're on the side. They're 90 degrees off. That's not an issue. I wanted to thank that gentleman that gave me that tip. I'm not going to call him out by name, but I think he knows who he is, and that saved me a lot of grief and a lot of heartache. Now, back to Kamado Joe customer service. Their stand arrived a few days later. I wasn't going to ship it back. You know, it would probably cost more in shipping than it's worth at that point. So if Kamado Joe is listening and watching this video, use that as a tip. Inform your customer service reps that might be an alternative that they can recommend at some point, because I know there are many out there that have that uneven bottom and they may be wobbling just a little bit. Well, I hope this video helped you out, especially if you have the Kamado Joe that's wobbling in the stand. Try that turning technique and hope it helps out for you. Please give me a comment down below on anyone that's had some issues like this, so that we can spread these tips around and maybe help the people that are becoming new owners get the enjoyment immediately and not have a little dose of disappointment like I did before. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and until then, I'll see you at my next video. My Kamado Joe had a paint chip right here just under the air vent. It's not too long, about 3/4 of an inch wide. And when I contacted Kamado Joe customer service about the wobbling issue, in their email they said just get some touch-up paint and you're good to go. It's not going to hurt anything. So if you've got a recommendation on what type of paint I could use to do that, I'd appreciate you to put me a comment down below.